Cam Newton is standing on business. And he's very passionate about what he said about Jalen Hurts not being a top 10 quarterback. We got our brother Cam Newton, like I said. Cam Newton doubles down on his Jalen Hurts criticism, takes shots at Gilly and more. Can you quote any of his music? Man, but don't worry, we didn't catch any stray bullets or any strays over our way, you know what I mean? He mentioned that Say What Needs to Be Said responded to his top 10 debate, but that's all. He said we responded, that's all. But I think Cam Newton bit off more than he could chew on this one. For some reason, Cam wants to push the narrative into the NFL that some quarterbacks only have success because they are good game managers at the position. And he had the same energy for Brock Purdy, labeling Purdy as a game manager. I know y'all remember that a couple of seasons ago. That wasn't last season, but a couple of seasons ago, he had that same energy for Brock Purdy. You remember that, Dries?
Yeah, he said that. He named Dak in there too.
Yes, yes.
Named a few people.
Named a few people, which I disagree with about Brock being a game manager. Then Cam tried to put Brock Purdy in the same sentence category as Tom Brady. And you know I went ballistic. Woo, I went ballistic. I responded back, don't you ever put Brock Purdy and Tom Brady name in the same sentence category, same atmosphere, whatever you want to think about. Do not put these same two individuals in the same category. And Cam backed off the tongue comments, right? But he never changed his stance on Brock Purdy. That's who Cam Newton is, man. Cam Newton said, man, he's not trying to be safe out here in this media world. Why not? Speak how you feel. Talk that, you know what I mean? Talk that shit.
Exactly.
But I'm going to tell y'all the secret, what this is really about. You know, because we are all competitors at heart. And that never leaves, man. That never leaves. And Cam sees the quarterback position from his point of view, based on the hand he was dealt and all the obstacles he had to overcome to make the Carolina Panthers competitive, right? Y'all remember that? And Cam feels it's not fair that he didn't have the talented team some of these quarterbacks have, you know? Like when he refers to Jalen Hurts having such a talented team. But Cam still advanced to the Super Bowl, right? Still advanced his team to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now, at this present moment, Cam still feels he is the better quarterback than some of these quarterbacks currently in the NFL.
I would say like he could take their job right now.
I don't know if he feels he can take their job. He just feels put him on one of these teams that is talented as, let's take, say for instance, Jalen Hurts' team, and he will win a Super Bowl multiple times, have a better record, better stats, so on and so forth. That's how he feels, you know? And Cam wants his point to reflect if these quarterbacks are having this much success, he can do the same thing, right? And that's what he wants his point to reflect. Let's get into what Cam Newton had to say.
Quarterback you got to go through in the NFC to win the Super Bowl.
You do not need to go through Jalen Hurts.
Who do you need to go through?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Damn.
So since that we want to attack the messenger, Ryan Clark. Okay, let's pull up your stats. Second team All SEC, we cannot relate. Undrafted in 2002, we cannot relate. Won Pro Bowl in 2011, we cannot relate. People keep attacking Cam, the person, or why he didn't jump on the fumble, comparing and contrasting. So when I compare and contrast you guys' statistics and Dan Orlovsky, never mind. But the message here is, Jalen Hurts, this has nothing to do with me hating. Eagles fan, this has nothing to do with me being bitter. This is just my thought process in evaluating quarterbacks. Let's make people debate about sports again. There's too many homeboys in the industry. There's too many insiders that are moved by relationships. Well, you're not talking about the person. You're more or less talking about their performance. And that's what I will talk about. Did you know, Peggy, Jalen Hurts only threw for 2,900 yards in the whole season?
Yeah, 2,903 yards.
Did you know that his former teammate at Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa, threw for 36 yards less? You know, the kicker in that is?
What is it?
Tua only played in 11 games. Baker Mayfield threw for 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. Justin Herbert's stats, 23 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. So what are we talking about here, ladies and gentlemen? Cam hating on Jalen? No, that's not the case. He doesn't need to play elite for his team to be successful. They're not winning games solely on his performance. The elite guys is. He lacks nothing in the skilled department. But like I told him, team situation doesn't require you to showcase your individual talent. These guys that I put on the list are all valid. So stop coming for me as if I don't know this game of football.
All right. So let's get into it. I'm telling you, man, listen, Cam really wants to prove that he can still play football and lead a team to a Super Bowl. Better than some of these current NFL quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Cam Newton wants his shot right now to prove what he is saying and show everyone that he still can do it. I'm telling you, you know what I mean? I'm telling you. But Cam talked about plenty of quarterbacks and different stats of different quarterbacks, right? And Cam points out Jalen Hurts only threw for 2,900 yards and didn't have to play elite for his team while winning the Super Bowl, right? Now, this is where Cam may be having a disagreement with everyone. Quarterbacks, specifically Jalen Hurts in run-heavy offense, right, are expected to fill in the missing pieces during competition to make their team become the winner, right? Quarterbacks in run-heavy offense doesn't need to play elite all game. But when it's time to be elite and make the plays necessary for your team to win or for the team to win, is when it's most important for the quarterbacks to be elite, you know,
Right.
from a quarterback standpoint.
I feel like that's where we got to disconnect. I mean, I agree with Cam Newton of saying, like, don't take the messenger, check the message. But it's times where I was at the game when they played Steelers. They held the ball for the last 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. And a lot of those times, it was third and long, and Jalen Hurts complete the pass to keep the chains moving, to keep the clock going. And they had literally held the ball for 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. Like, that's like unheard of, but you're not going to see that stat by looking at how many yards he threw out the season. But that's a big deal of not letting the Steelers get the ball again ever in the fourth quarter. They had the ball for like a 3 and out, and that's it. That's something like, you don't see that. You don't see a team hit a ball for one possession in the fourth quarter. And that's where you get like disconnected of like, oh, he only threw for that. No, I've seen him complete third down after third down to keep the drive going.
Right. That is not a sexy stat that no one talks about at all. You never see anyone bring that up, the time of possession from the offense. And that's what we were so good at being for the Patriots and the New England Patriots. We were Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels, whoever was the offensive coordinator, they were so good at getting 2 and 3 and 4 yards and continuing to move the chains. And that's how you wear teams down, like I talked about in the last video. But, you know, being able to make key plays during situational football is what's most important, especially to the quarterback. When I played for the Patriots, every Thursday, every Friday, we went over situational football, you know, not that fancy 400 yards per game crap, you know, that leads you to nowhere, that leads the team to nowhere. That is cute and all, but it's fancy and it's cute, but it doesn't lead to nowhere unless you're making the key plays during situational football. Like many non-winning quarterbacks didn't make the plays in situational football, right? But because the quarterback play doesn't seem elite for the entirety of the game, doesn't mean that quarterback wasn't elite when he needed to be. That's the difference. Just because you're not elite or the quarterback isn't elite the entirety of the game doesn't mean he is an elite when he needs to be during situational football. You know?
Right.
I think that's where Cam is getting into a disagreement with everyone at, you know? He wants the quarterback. You see, he brought up stats. And yeah, you usually bring up stats, you know, but quarterback is the one position. Stats aren't the only evaluation to determine how great quarterbacks are. You know, how many championships a quarterback wins is the most important stat for a quarterback, period. No one cares how unathletic Tom Brady was because he won championships. Now, everybody think about this. Everybody think about this. I always give you something to think about. If Brady never won a Super Bowl, he definitely wouldn't be considered one of the greats to ever play the position of quarterback. If Tom Brady never won a Super Bowl, he wouldn't be considered one of the greats to ever play the position at quarterback. But because Tom Brady was never considered this super talented quarterback, he had to win Super Bowls to be considered great. That's how it is for some players and things like that, you know.
But I definitely do agree. That's why I feel like he didn't like respond to like what like anything you said or anything like that. Because he wasn't like coming at him as the player. We really talked the numbers and all that stuff. It is okay to disagree. Like you can have your opinion not being in the top 10, but this is how I feel, and I feel like that's the direction you went into. That's why Kane wasn't like right at like your neck or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Because we were just talking numbers, like our opinion. Like it's okay to that's the thing about sports these days. When people like put out their opinion, they want to attack the person like, well, you don't know this, you don't know that, man. We just saying that's how I feel. That's how you feel. It's okay to disagree. I mean, that's how. And if y'all ain't go check out the interview,
but at the same time, Cam Newton knew 100% that him talking about the Super Bowl quarterback champion, Jalen Hurts, was going to garner a lot of attention. Being the fact that Cam Newton is a quarterback himself, and not only a quarterback that won the MVP, a quarterback that is a Super Bowl runner-up quarterback. So when he says something, everyone is going to listen. And Cam Newton knows that. He thought about that before he made this comment, you know?
Yeah,
you know?
I can't wait to see what happens in the future, because in the first 4 years of starting, their numbers is like pretty similar, but Jalen Hurts got double the wins.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see like after his career is over, where will they stand, or if like Cam changed his mind or not.
Again, Tom Brady never won Super Bowls. Where would you have Tom Brady on your top 10 list of quarterbacks? Would he be on your top 10 list? Would he make it? I think no way. No. I don't know no one, maybe the people in Foxborough, maybe the people in Boston, but where would Tom Brady be on your top 10 list if he never won Super Bowls? I don't think anyone would even be talking about Tom Brady. He wasn't that athletic. He wasn't that flashy of a guy. He was just known to be a freaking winner.